Hello, this is Debbie Armendariz, the Senior Director of the Department of Dual Language, and welcome to session number 2 of Asynchronous Coaching. This course is offered to first and second year teachers in dual language who are working in Portland Public Schools. Participants who successfully complete all 4 sessions and 13 assigned videos will qualify for 4 continuing ed credits through PSU that you can apply to your next pay raise. After each session, there will be a quiz. The quiz will provide evidence that you watched the screencast and the linked videos. At the end of these slides, you will find a link to today's quiz. You need to complete that quiz by Monday, November 7th. The screencast lasts somewhere between 10 and 15 minutes. There are places where you will be asked to pause the screencast and click on the link from the slides. You can access the slides on the same email where you got the link to this screencast. There's about 36 minutes worth of linked videos, so the entire thing should take you less than an hour. So let's start. Our agenda for today is to review the work that we've done so far and look at some upcoming assignments. I'll also show you some little techie tools on Athena. So far, you have logged on to Athena and joined the group. You have also recorded a tour of your classroom and shared that video. If you haven't already done so, you should download the Athena app to your iOS device. If you don't have an iPad or an iPhone, I do have some iPads that I can loan. This app is going to allow you to record the video and then automatically upload it to your library. I think most of you have gotten a swivel by now. If you still don't have a swivel, please let me know. We have ordered some and there's just a couple in my office. And lastly, you have shared your video from your library with the group and hopefully you've provided feedback to 3 to 5 colleagues. If you haven't had a chance to provide feedback, it's not too late to do that. Later in the session, I'll show you how to do that. So we've made several adjustments to the class since we first started. These are based on the feedback that we received and our commitment to supporting you and simplifying the process. All 4 sessions are now online, so there's screencasts and there's no face-to-face sessions. We've also adjusted the video schedule. You will have a video due every 2 weeks that school is in session, and you will not be required to upload lesson plans or reflections until after winter break. There are also 3 big ideas that we will spiral and loop over during the course of the course. They are landing the objective, gradual release of responsibility, and student-to-student interactions. Your videos will be tightly matched to each one of these. So let's talk a little bit about the 3 big ideas for this course. Teaching is hard work, and some days the only thing that keeps you coming back is the belief that you're actually making a difference in children's lives. On this slide, you will watch a 4-minute video from John Hattie titled Know Thy Impact. This video is a video scribe, which means that you will need to do a lot of reading while music plays in the background. You will read about Hattie's 8 mind frames. The idea is that if you have these 8 mind frames, you will be poised to make an impact on student learning. Listen for a connection between John Hattie's work and our 3 big ideas. Student learning begins with a well-developed learning objective that is effectively articulated to students. In order for student learning to occur, the teacher has to design activities that move the cognitive work from the teacher to the student. This includes modeling, guided practice, and collaborative practice prior to independent practice. Knowing how to support students and building your toolbox for scaffolds to make every child be successful is a long process and takes a long time. Only those willing to engage in the challenge for several years can become proficient at what we call teaching. Our last focal point is student-to-student interactions. This component will ensure that students are dialoguing and limit the teacher's monologue. The idea is that through a gradual release of responsibilities, the students can appropriate the language of learning as well as the content. At this time, please pause the video and open your slides, your linked slides. Go to slide 5 and you will be able to click on the link to John Hattie's video. For your first video assignment, which is due on November 10th, you will be focusing on landing an objective. After you do video assignment 2 and 3, video assignment 4 will again focus on the learning objective or learning target. For video number 1, start the video prior to the start of the class so you can capture a transition, get the student's attention, and communicate to the students the learning objective. You will want to communicate it in oral form and hopefully in written form too. Consider using a visual guide for yourself that can help you remember the critical components of a well-landed introduction to a lesson. On your slides, you can click on this link to view the visual guide that I made for you. At this time, stop the recording and watch these 3 videos. Together, they should take less than 4 minutes. Video number 2 will be about the gradual release of responsibility. It is due on December 1st. You'll want to start the recording right before you communicate the objective, so we know what the objective of the lesson was. Then you'll want to do either modeling or a demonstration. Perhaps you will communicate the criteria for success, or share an exemplar, or provide some sort of guided practice. You might even get into collaborative practice. Right here, you see the links to a few videos that are all about the gradual release of responsibility and providing students scaffolds. These videos should take 17 minutes, 76 seconds to watch. Pause the tape now and watch the videos. Video number 3 will be about designing student interactions. You have almost 12 minutes worth of links that you need to watch. But what I've included for you here is a guide for when you're first starting to set up some structures with your students for student-to-student interaction. You should always have A-B pairs, just pairs. You should design those pairs either controlling for behavior or for skills, such as high students with low students. Use a timer to structure the time and model for your students what those interactions should look like. Give your students plenty of time to think, and if they're older than 2nd grade, they should get time to write as well. Students might benefit from a visual checklist that reminds them of how to do think, pair, share. You will also want to use a few sentence frames to process the learning that students did in pairs. Students have an opportunity to process the discussion in a whole group setting. So you'll want to debrief after your think, pair, share with students and make sure that students had time to formulate their ideas, that they were able to write down some ideas, that they used eye contact in working with their pair, took turns, and used the sentence frames to guide their work. Hopefully, you'll also want to talk to them about how the activity of pairing with someone help them refine their own thinking. At this time, pause the video and watch these 4 videos on think, pair, share. At this time, I want to show you a few tools on Athena. So on Athena, you have 3 layers of privacy within your sharing. When you upload a video, it goes straight into your library and is 100% private. You want to view your videos before you share them. There's 2 levels of sharing. You can share them with the group, which you need to do for the assignment, or you can share it just with your coach. I'll show you where you can do that. Let me get out of here. So here's my Athena account. If I go over here to my library, I see that I only have 1 video. If I want to share that video, I have to click on share and then select the group, let's say K5, and over here, who can see this video? So you'll want to open your assignment to the group, but you might want to share a video just with coaches. If that's what you'd like to do, you click here and then you save. Let's back out of this. Okay, there are also 3 layers for privacy and feedback. You have public feedback from your peers and coaches on videos that you've shared with the group, private feedback from coaches on videos you share with the group, and private feedback from coach on a video you share only with the coach. So watch. If I go to my group and look at all the videos from my group, I can see who has commented. So on this video, right here, it opens up and it tells me that Angela and Alma have commented on this video. The comments that are on a video that was shared with the group are public, and here they are. Everyone can read them. But if you go over here, you'll be able to view private comments from your coach. So other participants will not be able to read these. Okay, let's move on. So for each video, you are asked to provide feedback to 3 to 5 colleagues. Let's talk a little bit about how you should do that. For now, we want you to limit your feedback to questions and strings. Questions and strings. If you look here, you can watch a video and then we'll hit play. So we'll watch this video, and let's say that over here I see something super interesting. I can click on question to write down my question, or strength to write down the strength I observed. We only want you providing feedback in the form of a question and strength. For now, we want your questions to be limited to things that you think you might want to replicate, but you'd like some more details about how to do that. Make sure that your comment is free of judgment. For instance, instead of saying, "These posters are awesome," try, "Where did you get those posters? I'd like to use them." Or instead of saying, "Your students are so well behaved," try, "How did you train your students to," and then explain what you observed. The other kind of feedback, the strength, should also be free of a value judgment. Use noticings language and then make a prediction about what you think would happen and how that behavior would impact student learning. For instance, instead of saying, "I love your rules poster," try saying, "I notice you have your rules posted." This is likely to help your students remember your expectations. Do you see in this example, I used the notice to state what I observed, and then I listed what I think might be a positive likely outcome. Let's talk about next steps. Video number 1 is due by November 10th. That's a Thursday. By the following Monday, we want you to provide at least 3 pieces of feedback to your colleagues. Between November 15th and the end of winter break, you will have 2 videos due. December 2nd is gradual release of responsibility, and December 15th is student interactions. So between now and those dates, you'll want to practice providing scaffolds to students that help release gradually the responsibility, and you'll want to train your students to do student-to-student interactions, such as think, pair, share. Remember that you can always send your coach a private video and receive private feedback. At this time, you can stop the tape and click on the slides in slide number 11, where you can find the quiz. Be sure to submit the quiz. Thanks for being a part of this class. I'm looking forward to watching your videos.